Well, hello, it's Thursday, so it must be time for Woolly Hats Wednesday, Thursday WIP. Sorry, it's a day late, but there's lots of things going on. We had visitors at the weekend and they left on Tuesday, which means I'm not quite sure which day of the week it is. Do you get like that? Anyway, what have I been doing? Well, the deadline is approaching fast, so I have finished all the knitting. So I'm just sewing up. This is the cardigan. You can see I've got one sleeve on. I've done the rib and the buttonholes, and it's coming out really rather yummy. So rather pleased with that. I've got another sleeve and side to sew up there, but you can see that a lot of the time is spent weaving in the ends, and that's the problem with working in colour like this. You have a lot of ends to weave in. However, I shall be watching Who Do You Think You Are tonight while weaving in the ends, and then all I have to do is sew the buttons on. And I think I showed you these are the lovely buttons. See how they go with those. These are ceramic buttons, and I got these at the Cumbria Wool show near Kendal, and they're muffin ceramics, and they were rather yummy. They had lots of really nice colours. There's 8 there, so I'll have 2 extra to do something else with, so that will be really good when it's finished. So the birthday party's on Saturday, so fingers crossed we'll get it all done by then. What I didn't show you last week, which I should have done, excuse me, oh no, dropped the buttons. I shouldn't drop ceramic buttons, they might break. They haven't though, thank goodness for that. This is the sock yarn I bought for Mr. W. It's from the Woolly Tangle, and it's a lovely lady based in North Wales, excuse me, and it's superwash merino and 25% nylon, so lovely and soft for Mr. W's feet, so I might fit that in at some point, but the colours are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? Anyway, so that's that. What else have I got to show you? Well, when I got back the other day, the postman had popped this through my letterbox, so I thought, oh yes, nice cup of coffee, and see what's there. So in here we've got some really interesting dates. So the 19th of August, which is next month, there's the pop-up wool show in Port Sunlight on the Wirral, so it's just up the road. It's a lovely little show, not a huge amount of stalls, but some really nice interesting stalls. Sadly, I won't be able to go because I'm going to see Aber Voyager with my brother in London, so that's one to look out for. The other one is Yarndale on the 23rd and 24th September, and that's at Skipton. So from Chester it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there, and it's a really good day out. You could make it into a weekend if you wanted to, but I tend to go for a day, and they've got around 200 stalls, so that is mega big. So the show I went to the other weekend was 70 stalls, this is 200, so yeah, you do have to be quite careful on what you buy, otherwise you could spend an awful lot of money and have an awful lot of wool and not a lot of time to knit or crochet them. So there we go, so that was that. What else did I see in here? Because it's always nice having things. I saw this. So this is brioche knitting. So some of you might have been on my brioche knitting course. I did that 2 or 3 years ago, and this is a scarf, and it's brioche knitting. So brioche knitting is where you sort of you slip and carry wool around. So it's almost like knitting twice as much wool in one thing. So it's nice and thick, and you get this lovely rib effect. Sometimes it was, in the olden days, it was called fisherman's rib. But anyway, this is called. It's Carol Meldrum, who does a lot of designing for posh wool. Anyway, so this is called Scat Hatch. I think that's how I pronounce it right. And she uses rowan felted tweed. Quite a lot of rowan felted tweed. I suppose you wouldn't have to do it quite that long. But I quite like it because it's sort of done on the diagonal, so it's not just flat, it's straight up. So I thought the colours, again, were rather yummy. Always, don't you find when you look at a pattern and it's in a colour you like the pattern more than if it's not in a colour you like? Anything in mustard I like. Anyway, the other thing I thought, now Sarah Hatton, as you might know, is one of my favourite designers. She's designed this. Again, she's based up north. She did a lot of training with designers and yarn producers in knitting companies based in Yorkshire. And she's done a lot for Rowan, and now she's doing a lot for West Yorkshire Spinners. So this is one that she's done. This is a hoodie for a child, and I thought that was absolutely gorgeous. Not necessarily the child, I'm not that great fan of children, but anyway, the hoodie was rather nice. As it happens, we've got rather a lot of great nephews. I suppose it'd be suitable for a great niece as well, but we've got lots of great nephews. I thought that might be quite a nice one to do. So you can see the nice little hoodie there. And this is done in Cascade yarn, superwash arran. Nice and practical. So you can stick it in the dishwasher, the washing machine. Dishwasher's broken down, so that's why I'm talking about dishwashers. So there you go. So that might be something to have a go at. And the thing is, once you've knitted it for one family, it can be handed down, possibly. Who knows? Now, sometimes you do, you know, you're looking back in old-fashioned or old knitting patterns, and they're all sort of stood there going, kind of like that. And you get a family, mum, dad, and kids, and all that kind of stuff. Possibly a dog, but not necessarily in the knitted jumper. And sometimes you think, well, that pattern doesn't really suit that family or that person. Well, this is what I found in this magazine. I don't know whether you agree with me, but so this chap here looks as though he might be from a boy band. But would he really wear that? I'm not sure. I mean, it's a nice sleeveless cardi, but I'm not sure that fits, and I'm not sure it fits with Mr. W either. But anyway, I just thought that was a bit weird. What do you think? Anyway, so there we go. So that was what I've been up to. I've just got those last few bits to do on that cardigan, and then I can think of what else I can do. And I can also put my mind to promoting my new classes, which are starting in the autumn. So look out for that, and hopefully I'll see you on one or two of them or whatever, or send your friends, and we'll have a jolly good time. So that's all for me today. I will see you next week, hopefully on a Wednesday rather than a Thursday. Bye for now.